NXT is over. Let's talk about it. The new NXT champion, Tony D'Angelo, kicked off NXT with a promo. Wasn't able to get much out. He said his name and he appeared. Joe Hendry came out. And then Ethan Page came out. And then Ricky Saints came out. And I was like, oh, they're just going to continue this feud. And then we had Dark State come out, and I immediately knew we're going to get an 8-man tag match, and that is exactly what happened, so we will talk about that more later in this video. Next, we had Soruka versus Izzy Dame in a great match. However, Soruka did lose, but not cleanly because she got absolutely split in half by Zarya's spear. Zarya, by the way, has one of the nastiest spears in the business, in my opinion. And I'm very glad they are continuing this feud because I kind of wanted it to continue. It only lasted like 4 weeks or something like that. So I wanted this to continue, and I'm very glad. And they announced that they will be having a match, which I will go over at the end of the video. Next, we had the meatiest part of the night. Josh Briggs versus Jasper Troy versus Keanu Carver. It was a great match. I kind of wish there was like, you know, some through the barricade stuff involved, through the announce table. But that is okay that we didn't get that. Keanu Carver ended up picking up the win, and they are pushing this dude to the moon, and it's kind of deserved, I think. He's kind of like an Obafemi, but not quite as, you know, intimidating. Not quite the same amount of aura, but I am liking what they're doing with Keanu Carver. And I'm looking forward to see where this goes. Maybe he could be the next North American champion. Then the 8-man tag between Joe Hendry, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, and Tony D'Angelo versus Dark State. It was a really fun match. Ethan Page ended up pinning Saquon Sugars, giving him the win, stealing the win from Tony D'Angelo. And Miles Bourne attacked Dion Lennox after he attacked him after his stand and deliver match against Johnny Gargano. I am very excited for Dion Lennox and Miles Bourne's feud. And we also got another match announced as a result of this match, which I will go over at the end of the video. Chaz Starboy Hall made his WWE NXT debut in a speed match against Lexus King. He had a pretty great match. However, Lexus King did end up retaining. I'm excited to see what this guy can do. He was on the Indies, then on WWE ID, and now he's on NXT. Next, we had a mixed tag team match between Tatum Paxley and Shiloh Hill versus Blake Monroe and Jackson Drake. And Jackson Drake actually gave Blake Monroe a custom North American Championship. I'm not sure why, but I mean, it looks pretty cool. It's like half like pink and glamoury like her usually, and then the other side's like bloody. So it's pretty cool. I just don't know why they did it. It was a pretty good match, and Blake Monroe ended up pinning Tatum Paxley. It's kind of seeming like they're just continuing every feud, but I think it is justified because they are starting a 2-week TV special these next 2 weeks. So I expect after that, basically all of these should be fully done. And that 2-week TV special I am referring to is NXT Revenge. The next 2 weeks on NXT, they are going to have a TV special, and this is all the stuff that has been announced for it. First, the former Women's Evolve champion, Khali Armstrong, will make her NXT debut. It didn't say what she was going to do, if it was a promo, if it was a match, but from what I've seen from her, I'm excited for this, and I kind of hope she has a match. Or maybe if she does have like a promo, she can like say she's gonna go after a title or something. I'm not exactly sure. I'm just kind of here for the ride, and I'm excited to see what happens. I forgot to mention this, but in the main event, Lola Vice cut a promo, the new women's NXT champion, and she was interrupted by Fatal Influence, and they're going to continue their feud, and I'm pretty sure they also have a match at Revenge. Another thing confirmed for Revenge is Tony D'Angelo versus Ethan Page for the NXT Championship. I think Tony D should absolutely retain here. No doubt in my mind. Excited because it's probably going to be a pretty good match. Same thing pretty much with Lola Vice and JC Jane. I don't think there's any reason that Lola Vice should lose this. We also will be having a Joe Hendry concert. I can't wait for this. I mean, his concerts are always funny and a lot of fun. So, a new WWE Speed Champion will be crowned at NXT Revenge in the final round of the Speed Tournament. We have Jada Parker versus Kalani Jordan. I feel like that should be a stipulation match, but for some reason it's not. I feel like the feud deserves a stipulation. Maybe they're planning on having multiple matches with stipulations later, which I guess would be okay. But I think this should be like an Iron Woman match or like a Last Woman Standing match or something. That's just my opinion, though. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have Zarya versus Sol Ruka in a Last Woman Standing match. If they do plan on continuing this feud longer, I think that having Sol or Zarya win would be great so that they are tied 1-1, and then they can have the big final match in like a Hell in a Cell at a PLE or something. And I think that's exactly what they should do. I doubt that they will, but I am very excited for this TV special. I think WWE needs to do more TV specials because the ones NXT does are great. That's going to be it, though, for this episode of NXT Nutshell. Let me know what you thought of this episode of NXT. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want.